Stick around to the end of this video to learn how you can actually increase attendance in your community's live calls, and all of this from an experienced community manager. The first thing that you're going to want to do to increase attendance in your live calls is to make highlights. So edit your call recordings by extracting the best of the best moments, then posting them in your community with a call to action for members to join future calls. And for example, there's a community called Built Like Desi, which is a fitness community that does this. He'll basically have a bunch of live calls, and then what he does is he edits the recordings, has a highlight, some kind of cool moment that happened during those calls. He'll make a post about it, hype it up, and then say that whatever, there's an upcoming call too that you can join. And so members can watch this call and be like, wow, that was actually cool, that was insightful, that was helpful, I learned something from that, or that was cool, that was entertaining. And then from there, that will be sort of your selling point to them to join future live calls. Another great way to increase attendance in your community's live calls is to focus on exclusive access. So live calls should be attractive features of your community offer because they serve as direct access points to you or other experts for live consultation. And so here's the trick. You can make access to you or your team of experts more attractive by simply charging high-ticket, one-on-one access to yourself or your experts outside of the group live calls. And then all of a sudden, your group live calls will look like a deal in comparison. So for example, if you're the community owner and let's say you're some kind of content creator, so your time is really valuable, let's say you charge for a one-on-one coaching call $200, let's say. But then in order to join your community, which has say 4 calls a month, you charge only $50. Well, all of a sudden joining the live calls for $50, of which there are 4 live calls a month, seems like a way better deal than $200 for a one-on-one direct call that just happens once. And so if you create some exclusivity around your time, the live calls all of a sudden seem like a way better deal as far as accessing you exclusively. So if you charge some kind of premium for your time outside of these group calls for your one-on-one direct coaching time, members are going to see that, and then they're going to realize that getting exclusive access to you on the live calls is a way better deal. And in that sense, they might just join the live calls then. Another cool trick, and this is very simple, is to simply name your calls better. So labeling your calls, so titling them as solving a problem, that is in a how-to style. So your live calls should be solving problems for your members. In fact, all of the programming in your community should be solving problems for your members, whether that be the live calls, the courses, etc. So in that sense, don't give your calls bland titles. You must think of your call titles as being similar to YouTube video titles. It must be hooking and address a problem/solve a need. So for example, if you have a fitness community and you're trying to solve the problem of your community members remaining skinny, then you would simply have some kind of title to the effect of how to bulk in X amount of time, let's say, for example, right? And so what that's going to do is it's going to be a hooking title. It's a title that tells members how to solve their problem or the problem that they're experiencing, right? So it's really important how you name your calls as well. Another thing to do is to simply experiment with formats. Maybe you're just delivering the wrong types of call formats. So make calls more interesting by changing things up. Don't limit yourself to Q&A calls. In the community that I work in, which is called KCC, we have a hybrid call between a Q&A and a lecture. So we've experimented with this and created a new call format. But you can have hot seats, co-working sessions, guest calls, lectures, movie clubs, speed networking calls, etc. Sky is the limit. So you can exercise your creativity and indeed mix and match and create your own live call formats to create more engaging, exciting, and entertaining live calls. And another thing that you can do is indeed reward attendees for their participation. So you might consider incentivizing participation through live call rewards and giveaways. For example, one lucky live call attendee could win XYZ prize, for instance. So hint, giving away this prize can become a highlight as well. So the first piece of advice that we learned was that you should make highlights of your call recordings. So what if you actually made those highlights a random member being chosen to win some kind of cool prize? Well, that's going to inspire other members in your community who weren't attending the calls to attend them so that they can increase their chances of winning whatever that prize was.